Hello and welcome back to Satisfactory Update 4, a Let's Play series. Between episodes, we've accumulated a lot of steel pipes and beams over here in these storage containers. I've used them to unlock the rest of the milestones in tiers 3 and 4. I've also taken these parts and upgraded the Mark III miners for our coal nodes that are supplied in steel. All 3 iron nodes, and we were using 2 copper nodes before. I upgraded those 2, added a 3rd, all Mark II, and routed them to the lake on belts. Now you can see I added a little bit of detail here. We got steel, that may have been last episode. This is supposed to say P for pipes and B for beams. It's highly stylized. I still think it looks fine. Gonna come quickly look at our copper. So I basically had to add another foundation all the way over here. 3 more belts. And with room to grow, we'll probably bring the limestone, maybe the Caterium as well. So this was our first bus with iron and coal. These are just 3 copper, likely adding limestone and a Caterium above that. That'll be basically every resource from my starter base. Then I routed that copper down exactly the same way as I did with iron, and in exactly the same way as this iron smelting building, we have a copper smelting building. 3 floors, 8 smelters each. And they're going to output right here. The next step is going to be, I'm going to call it like an iron products building. I'm thinking, you know, because this lake is huge, right? It's big, but we're using it up quickly. These are not small buildings. You know, the buildings will get smaller as we progress. We'll be making fewer items per minute. That means fewer machines required in a building. But, you know, right now we're still in the early stages of automation. We're going to have an iron products building. This is going to turn iron ingots into iron plates and iron rods. And just a quick heads up, there's basically no need for iron rods in the late game, except for, you know, just for the actual building, like with walkways or conveyor supports. But there's no like need for them in the automation process. I'm still going to have a few constructors producing rods just so I have supply of them on hand for those needs, but it's not a big need. So that'll probably be the ground floor, iron plates and rods. Above that, we're going to be making reinforced plates, and we're going to be using the alternate recipe. It's called stitched reinforced plates. It's iron plates and copper wire. So we'll be bringing the wire in from a as yet to be constructed copper products building, probably right here. You know, we'll route the ingots to the wire, or to the constructors making wire, and then the wire over here to the second floor of this building, where we'll have probably 6 assemblers making reinforced iron plates. And then above that, we'll take those reinforced iron plates, route over steel pipes, and using an alternate recipe, I think it's called steeled modular frame, maybe? We'll combine reinforced iron plates with steel pipes to make modular frames. So, looking at 3 floors in this iron products building, with inputs coming from the iron ingot building, a as yet to be constructed copper products building, and our steel building. So let's get started on the first floor. And it's going to be, let's just look at the recipe. Right now, we've got 1 free belt, 1 unused belt of iron wire, right here. If we've done everything correctly, after the belt upgrades and the miner upgrades, this is producing, or it's transporting 240 iron ingots per minute. So that could support 8 constructors making iron plates. We don't really need that many. Let's look at the recipe for reinforced iron plates. This recipe produces at a rate of 5.625 per minute, and it's 3 each cycle. So that's a multiplier of 1.875. So we take 1.875 times the 10 iron plates required per cycle, and then we know that we need 18.75 iron plates per minute per assembler. So I'm thinking 6 assemblers is probably going to be a nice amount of reinforced iron plates, especially when we look a little bit further ahead. We see that we only need 2 reinforced iron plates per minute per assembler, making modular frames, right? So one assembler that's making the reinforced iron plates, these stitched iron plates, can supply like more than 2, between 2 and 3 assemblers making modular frames. So if we have 6 assemblers making reinforced iron plates, you know, that's what is that, like 12 plus? We could support 12 plus assemblers making modular frames with some to spare. So 6 is a good number. And since we're making iron plates at a rate of 20 per minute per constructor, if we have 6 constructors making iron plates, that will cover the 6 assemblers making reinforced iron plates with additional iron plates to spare for belts, for walls, for everything else. And so we'll take that's 6 times 30, that's 180 iron ingots per minute. That leaves us 60 ingots per minute to use for rods. That's really more than we need. But we're going to use it anyway. We're going to use it all. So we'll have 6 constructors making iron plates, and then 4 constructors making iron rods, because they require half as many ingots per minute as plates. Let's lay that down and see how it looks. I want to line it up. I want to line the input here up with this building. Let's leave ourselves a little bit of room. We'll not make it look too crowded here. So these first 6 will be iron plates. And now, I think we're just going to, you know, maybe have a little room here. We'll say 2 spaces. And we'll put down 2 more on each side for iron rods. I'm just making this up on the fly, but I think it should work. Let's make sure this is aligned. Good. So now when we bring our iron belt to this factory, the wall will probably be here. Let's put a door. Then single wall conveyor for now on this floor. It's backwards. There you go. So we'll build our standard belt corridor here. So ready for the jetpack. So ready. Let's bring this to the center. Go. And those. And then the final touch here with these little gate walls around the door. Looks good. Okay. Now the walls. So ground floor uses the frame windows. Mergers will go here. One extra space. We're cutting it pretty close, but I think this is the way it has to be to have this aligned neatly. And as long as we've got one foundation's width here to travel, I'm fine with it. You know, I think we can pack these in relatively closely and still make it look clean. Now we'll do 2 on this side. Hey, did I have 1 on this side or 2? 2? Okay. That's fine. Something to consider is the size of the assemblers on the upper floors. Now, if we have 6 assemblers making reinforced iron plates, can we fit that in the same like square footage here? I think so. Maybe that would be worth testing. If we can't, we'll just have to get creative with our building. Have a larger upper floor than the lower floor. I mean, we can make that look cool. But I think we're fine. Okay. Iron plates. Copy the recipe. These are iron rods. So I've unlocked all of the alternate recipes through this point in the tech. That's all of the tier 3 and 4 milestones. And I've worked my way decently well through the MAM, decently far as well. Between episodes, I went to the nearest quartz node, mined a few thousand quartz, turned it into crystal, worked my way through the quartz tree in the MAM, and I brought a lot of crystal back to use for lighting. So, starting with this this building, we'll be adding lights, and then between episodes I'll make a lighting pass at all of the previous buildings so that we can see what's going on, during the night hours. One nice thing about, a totally automated factory is that there's never a reason to stop for things like sleep. And one more level. Now, the outputs at this end are where things could get tricky. Still haven't come up with a storage solution yet, right? But I know that I want materials to go directly from building to building when they're needed. But generally, when I do these Satisfactory playthroughs, I like things also to be stored in a central location whenever they're required for anything you might need to build, like any machines or foundations or belts. Door here. So now we've got two products, right? We've got the plates and the rods. Now we could run one belt and have them, route them into a smart splitter to be sorted back into plates and rods. But it's not the best solution. And also, we've got to keep in mind that I think what we may want to do is to take the entirety of the output from these iron plate machines, route it up to second floor for reinforced plates, and then extend those reinforced plates belts beyond and store the excess after they've first been through the reinforced plate assemblers. I think I like that idea. So these are producing 20 per minute times 6, that's 120 per minute. 15 per minute times 4, that's 60. So 60 plus 120 is 180. All that could fit on one belt. Let's get our splitters up. So these will be fed by one belt, obviously the belt of iron ingots. Let's use a lift, just so we can easily run between this, right? Without needing to jump or crouch under belt. My pug barking in the background, I apologize. He almost never barks. Alright. Outputs are the question. Let's get the easy part done. Hey, Cha-Cha, no barking, buddy. Come on. What's wrong? Actually, do here. Okay, it's all set up. Let's connect these belts. Now, what to do? What to do? How much space do we have? Okay. Okay. So if we use the thought that I had of routing all of the iron plates up, something like this might make the most sense. We'd be routing like the rods out on the lower level to storage, and then the plates out from the upper window to the second floor. sun's going down. Really need those lights. I'm gonna use glass foundations here. And over here, so we can see the belts from the upper floor. I want them in the middle as well. See that belt. Back to standard foundations, directly over the constructors. Alright, now let's think about lights. Do I have the... I do have the crystal on me, good. What else do we need for ceiling lights? Organization, ceiling lights, crystal, wire, kind of low on wire. Probably got enough. And steel beams, okay. So, thinking, do something like this. Let's see if we can center it like an off-center thing going here, like on the... seam between these foundations. Is that centered? I think that it is. Okay. And we'll skip one. Wish we had some teal alignment lines here. Best we can. So I want to put the lights up before the power nubs so that I can make the power lines look as clean as possible. That's right. So I'm trying to align these with every other seam here. These should actually be glass. Yeah, that's not quite centered. Don't love it. Love it. So we should start in the center and work our way out. Just double check that. Okay, 11. So the sixth foundation will be the center. 4, 5, 6. This is the center of the building. Let's try to center it on this. This is really awkward. Get the right perspective here. It's not centered. It's a little time consuming. Right. It's better. Pause the video briefly just so we're not eating up our time. Just to set up the last of these ceiling lights. Alright, we put the light panels up, and now we're going to deal with power for the lights and the constructors. Just going to try to keep it pretty simple here. We'll use one Mark II power nub for these four constructors producing the iron rods. Mark II power nubs have 7 connections. We'll use 2 for these 6 here. Center them. It's right here. We'll be fine. One here, one here. Now the nice thing about power lights is that they've allowed them to have more than one power connection. They can have 2 power connections each. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect them all in a line here. At this far end, we'll cross over to this side. Okay, now see they're unconnected at this side, so each of these should have an extra power connection. Here we've got the power switch, we've seen this before. All connected to the power grid. The A terminal is always going to be our primary power grid. Now we'll connect this node to our smelters. Max consumption 12. Does that seem right? There's no way that's right. Oh, we've got to connect these two. Come on. Work with me. As well as to this node down here. There we go. Max consumption 28. That feels right. It's creeping up. Now this is the light control panel. I've connected it to the power nub here. This also has another power line to this nodule. I'm not sure of the importance. I'm not sure why they actually needed 2. The nice thing about these light control panels is that they'll control any light connected to the system, but their control is interrupted whenever the power grid reaches either a second lights control panel or a power switch. So for right now, let's see, let's turn this on. Okay, so we do need to, actually, well, these just aren't connected to anything, right? We connect this over here, the lights turn on. But they're not blue. So let's try a few things here. Let's connect them directly to the light panel. Like that should work, right? Alright, now we're blue. But I feel like it should also work if we connect this up here. Actually need to upgrade this to a Mark II. Yep. We connect it up here, which looks better, right? They're still blue. Okay, but we can't control them with the light panel. That's just the last default setting. Yes. Okay, we're gonna go with blue. Blue's like our default iron color for now. Why are these not powered? Doesn't make any sense at all. So, these machines are powered. So we know this node has power, right? Okay. Weird. It's working now. So we're making iron plates. And we're making iron rods. Need some mergers here. I like that they went the extra mile and added the colored LEDs. Now let's merge this all together. Let's merge it right here. Is that gonna clip? Oh, that's fine. Let's see if it clips at this corner. Okay, great. Now I went closer to the constructors because we're still going to bring our plates around. As much room for that as possible. Not loving the way this looks. fact, this might be better. We can make this work. 1, 2. How's the clipping? Oh, look at that! Oh, didn't go up high enough though. Is it 3? Still looks like it's going up, right? Is it clipping on a light? Might be. It's gotta be the light. Okay. Make it work. Two, 3, 4. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna center this quickly. Still not crazy about how this looks. But it's gonna get the job done. Oh man. Using all the lifts. Like that doesn't really need a support. Okay, so we'll have the plates. Merging here. And then being transported to this window. And we'll set a merger here for the rods, centered in the foundation this time. Maybe not centered, maybe just a little bit back. Just gives us a little more walking space. Okay, so the first floor is done. We've got rods, we've got plates. We're going to take those plates up to the second floor, combine them with some wire, but first, we've got to automate wire. Let's get that done. Let's quickly do some math here. Now we've got 3 belts of copper ingots total, right here. But we need to reserve some of these ingots for like the end of stage 2 when we're making aluminum. We'll need a fair amount of aluminum ingots, or sorry, of copper ingots to combine with aluminum ingots to make the aluminum casings and outclad aluminum sheets. But I'm thinking we'll just reserve 1 line of copper for now. We may need to, bring in more copper or more iron at some point in the mid-game. For now, we'll reserve 1 line of copper ingots. So we'll take two belts here, with 240 ingots each, and we'll turn them all into wire, and some of that wire will turn into cable. But we'll need a lot of wire, not only for reinforced plates, but for rotors and stators. Wire creates 30 per minute, needs 15 ingots per minute. So each belt can support 16 constructors making wire. So we'll have 2 levels of 16. We're going to set that up really quickly. That'll be 8 deep. Let's give ourselves a space of 2. A gate here. Door. 1. We only need a space of 1 there, I think. Now we'll put down 8 constructors on a side. Oh, collect some more reinforced plates. This is actually a good time to just gonna pause the recording quickly while I set this up. It's gonna be super basic, and I'll walk you through it. But we're really running out of time here, so I'll see you after the jump. Alright, we're back. Ran into a few hurdles. This is still the first floor of the iron products building. Plates on the left, rods on the right. I had to remove the lights. Apparently, right now, there's some collision bug that interferes with the placing of buildings on top of the foundations that are supporting lights below. So I'll need to write a bug report about that. Here, directly beside the iron products building is the copper wire building. Now there are 16 constructors on each level, 2 levels. They're outputting to the sides. Turn it on here. Using orange lights for copper wire. So we've got 240 ingots coming in, and 240 wire on each side being output. So, 1 ingot to 2 wire ratio there. So 2 belts of wire here, and then got the same thing on the floor above. I'll have to remove these lights to place the constructors on the next floor. Another 2 belts of 240 wire per minute each. Above this will just be cable, I'm thinking. We'll route some of the wire from this floor up to the 3rd floor to make some cable, and that's probably going to be the extent of the copper products building. Now the other, we'll see, I think this belt is going to be routed to the iron products building for the use in the stitched reinforced plates. This belt will probably go up to the 3rd floor for cable. Let's go over to the iron products building here. These foundations are temporary, I just need, you know, a better vantage. So this is the wire from the copper products building. We can add some panels. Let's see. Because this belt's going up, we can just panel this off. We're out of iron plates, that's cool. Totally cool. Fortunately, we're making iron plates now. Okay. So we'll use the panel windows. Clean this up. We'll put more glass foundations on top. I'll do that between episodes. So just give us a better idea about what this will look like. I think it should look good. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Maybe we add something like this at the corner. Know that gravity and weight physics aren't really a thing in this game, but you know, it still looks cool. Then this belt, got it here. We'll grab our iron plates here. And now we've got 6 assemblers. Not sure why these are not on. Oh, we probably haven't connected that. Yep. Need a power nub here. There we go. Okay, so 6 assemblers all making the stitched iron plates. Because of the spacing, I'm using 1 conveyor belt, or 1 conveyor lift, and then 1 belt. Let's see. 6 just a little bit of consideration because we've got an extra step coming here. I think we'll put these on the lower, upper. And now what I want to do, actually, first, I'm going to set up a smart splitter. Logistics. Smart splitter. Let's line this up. Centered. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alright. Now, center is going to be iron plates. Or it could be any, but we'll set it to iron plates. And the right output will be overflow. Because this is right now currently 100% of our iron plate production, and we're going to want the overflow iron plates to be recycled back down into storage. What's the best way to do that? Well, we'll consider that later. We'll probably just add a third window, melt it back down and out through this window. But now we should be making stitched iron plates. And we're going to route those to the east, over here. All these lights are green. No iron plates yet. Hold up. Oh, need to connect these. I think we'll wrap up the episode here. Next episode, we'll add another floor to the copper products, get that cable automated. We'll add another floor above this, and we'll combine these stitched iron plates with steel rods to make modular frames. And then we're also going to set up a motor factory where we produce rotors and stators by combining wire and steel pipes for each, and then we just combine the rotors with the stators to make motors. And then we're ready for space elevator parts and tiers 5 and 6. So we're going to get all of that done in the next episode. Thanks for watching. My name is Gray. I'm having a great time making this series. Hope the few of you watching are enjoying it or finding something that you enjoy in the series. Hit the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.